Hey, it's Barça here, and today's video I'm going to put an end to the debate of who's better between Messi and Ronaldo. For years now, this has been football's biggest question, but Messi is just better, and by some margin actually. In this video we'll go over all of the important aspects and criteria and see what exactly makes Messi better than Ronaldo. So I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer, let's just get straight to it. First of all, let's start with our goal scoring numbers. In club football, first and foremost, at the moment of making this video, Messi got 689 goals and 823 appearances, while Ronaldo's got 699 goals and 941 appearances. So as you see, Ronaldo's only scored 10 more goals in way more games. Messi's goal ratio is 0.84, which means he scored a goal every 98 minutes. And Ronaldo's ratio is 0.74, so he scored a goal every 110 minutes. Ronaldo has often been seen as the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game. But if you look at it, you see Messi is actually the better goal scorer. And it won't last long before he surpasses Ronaldo in actual goal numbers in club football. And what's even crazier is that Messi's goal number without penalties in club football is 605, while that of Ronaldo is 570. And when it comes to the Champions League, Ronaldo's got 141 goals in 187 games, while Messi got 126 goals in 158 games. So Ronaldo's got more goals, but Messi's got a better ratio, even in the competition that Ronaldo thrives in most. And I'll come back to the Champions League and big games later in the video for all your Ronaldo fans who claim that he's better at the biggest stage. And lastly, Messi's goal scoring abilities at their very best were at a level that not only Ronaldo but any footballer ever has ever reached. In 2012 in club football, Messi scored 79 goals in 60 games, which means he had a ratio of 1.3, so that's a goal every 65 minutes, which is just out of this world. If you put all those things together, you see that Messi's got a better goal ratio, and unless he suffers a career-ending injury, which won't happen, it won't last long before he overtakes Ronaldo in actual goal numbers. And apart from penalties, he's already got more than his Portuguese colleague. So you can tell me what you want, Messi is the better goal scorer. That was only for club football though. When it comes to international football, Ronaldo's got 117 goals in 189 games, and Messi got 88 goals in 163 games. So Ronaldo hasn't only got more goals, but also a better goal ratio with 0.62 compared to Messi's 0.54. But of course, Ronaldo plays for Portugal and Messi for Argentina. So you would think that Ronaldo's had it easier because he plays against countries like Andorra and Liechtenstein, while Messi plays against countries like Ecuador and Uruguay. The only fair way to compare them in international football is maybe the World Cup. And here Ronaldo's got 7 goals in 17 appearances and Messi's got 6 goals in 19 appearances. So it seems that Ronaldo is a better goal scorer for Portugal than Messi for Argentina. But club football is a better way of comparing the two, and most of the games they play in a year are club football. And if you add up club football and international football, Ronaldo's got 39 more goals and 144 more games. So I would still say Messi's the better goal scorer out of the two. Next, let's look at their penalties. If you've got one penalty to decide the outcome of a game and you can pick either Messi or Ronaldo, who would you then go for? Let's see. Messi's taken 134 penalties in his career and scored 104 out of them. So his conversion rate is 78%, while Ronaldo's taken 174 penalties and scored 145. So his conversion rate is 83%. Not that much of a difference, but Ronaldo is a little better, so I would pick him for a decisive penalty. Then there's also free kicks, of course. Messi wasn't a great free kick taker in his early career, but has slowly become one of the greatest free kick takers of all time. While Ronaldo was astonishing at free kicks in his early career, but his free kick taking ability has declined over the years. So, who is the better free kick taker overall then? What's quite funny is that they've both scored 58 free kick goals at the moment of making this video, but Messi scored one every 17 games, while Ronaldo's done so every 19.5 games. So Messi's got a slight advantage. And if you look at it now, you would think that he'll take over Ronaldo's number during the following years. And what's more is that Messi's free kick conversion rate in his whole career is 8.8%. While Ronaldo's is 6.2%. And lastly, Ronaldo's free kick technique is to have an unpredictable knuckleball that's difficult for a keeper to catch, whereas Messi's technique is to place the ball precisely where he wants it with a lot of curve. Messi's technique is less risky but as effective. So is it difficult to say who is the better free kick taker? Absolutely not. Messi is the better one. Next, let's take a look at shooting from distance in open play. In her whole career, Messi scored 82 goals from outside of the box and Ronaldo scored 61 goals from outside of the box. This means Messi has scored from outside of the box every 12 games and Ronaldo has done so every 18.5 games. So after hearing this, you would think that Messi is better from long distance. but it's worth noting that Messi's often scored from the edge of the penalty box, while Ronaldo's often scored from a real long distance. So generally, Ronaldo's probably done it from more difficult places. So who's better then? Well, I would say it's a tie. This is the one aspect of football where they're really kind of an equal match. When it comes to the next aspect though, that's not the case, because we're now going to have a look at their dribbling ability. In the Domestic League and Champions League together, Messi's completed 3,000 successful dribbles, which is 4.6 successful dribbles every game. Ronaldo has completed 1,642 successful dribbles, which is 2.2 successful dribbles every game, because he's played more games than Messi too, of course. So do I even have to say anything more than this? Messi's basically twice as effective and productive when it comes to dribbling. Ronaldo is a good dribbler, but he's not as agile as Messi, not as quick as Messi, hasn't got the spatial awareness that Messi has, and will often need more touches to get past less players. He's good, but Messi's probably the greatest dribbler of all time, and his speed with the ball in his feet is ridiculous too, especially for his younger version, so this one clearly goes to Messi. If you're a Ronaldo fan and you're still watching this video and you're somehow still convinced that he's better than Messi, then the next aspect should finally make you see the light. Let's take a look at playmaking. When it comes to assists first and foremost, Messi's got more assists than Ronaldo in both club football and international football, in fewer games. In total, Messi's got 415 assists and Ronaldo's got 285 assists. So Messi clearly wins the assist battle. But that's not all. Messi's made more key passes in his career too. A key pass is a pass that gets your teammate into a goal-scoring position. Messi's got 1,304 of them in the Domestic League and Champions League since the 2009-2010 season, and Ronaldo's got 889. But Messi's key passes have generally been more long balls than Ronaldo's. So he doesn't only have more key passes, they were more difficult to play too. And if you look at through balls and big chances created, it's the same story. Going over it would just be useless. It's clear that Messi is the better playmaker, and I know that Messi's often been in more of a playmaking position than Ronaldo. Ronaldo will typically indeed rather be the one who puts his ball into the back of the net than the one who delivers the pass. But as we already saw, Messi is the better goal scorer too. So this makes you realize what's so special about Messi. He's got better playmaking than the greatest playmakers and better goal scoring than the greatest goal scorers. And sure, Ronaldo was a good playmaker in his early days, but you've seen the stats, Messi's just untouchable. Then let's look at defending, the one thing you probably wouldn't have expected me to talk about. I won't really go in detail over this because, well, they're both attackers, so defending isn't really their most important quality. Messi's got the edge over Ronaldo when it comes to tackling and interceptions, while Ronaldo's way better at clearances. This has to do with something that I will come on to next. They're just both not that great defensively and it won't determine who's better out of the two. I just felt like I couldn't leave it unmentioned. So next we've got heading. I'm just get right to it, Ronaldo is better when it comes to heading, by some margin. Since the 2009-2010 season in both the Domestic League and Champions League, Ronaldo's won 1.38 aerial duels per game, while Messi's number is 0.21. So, though Messi's indeed scored some legendary headers, Ronaldo is untouchable when it comes to his heading ability. I would even say he's the greatest of all time when it comes to headers. His ability to just float in the air, his positioning, his accuracy and power are all out of this world. So this one definitely goes to Ronaldo. So we've basically talked about all of the qualities that footballers must have. But there's one very important thing that we've not gone over yet. If you're a Ronaldo fan and you think he's better than Messi, I bet it's also because you claim he's better in big games and always turns up when it matters most. Is that true though? Well, let's see. What we're going to do is look at their stats from the Champions League, El Clasico and the World Cup. Most big games belong to one of these three. So let's start with the Champions League. In the group stage, Messi scored 77 goals and delivered 24 assists in 83 games, while Ronaldo scored 73 goals and delivered 25 assists in 98 games. So in the group stage, it's clear that Messi gets the upper hand. Some of these games were definitely big games, but they were of course not all big games. In the knockout stages, Messi got 49 goals and 12 assists in 75 games, while Ronaldo's got 67 goals and 15 assists in 85 games. So Ronaldo's numbers are clearly better. And what's more is that most of Messi's goals and assists come from the last 16, whereas Ronaldo generally peaked in the quarterfinals and semifinals, in which he will generally play against even more difficult opponents than the last 16. So Ronaldo's better in big Champions League games, right? It's clear. Well, no. I'm probably not the first one to tell you this, but goals and assists are not everything. When his team gets it difficult, where do you think Messi plays? Indeed, he comes to get the ball and create chances himself, which he almost always manages to do. In a lot of big European games, Messi was crucial for Barcelona in creating chances, and a lot of the times they would just not score because the chances weren't finished. Ronaldo on the other hand doesn't drop deep. He's got other players who will put the ball in the box for him. If a team gets it difficult, he will just stay in attack and not really get the supply that he wants. The point is, and this goes especially for the periods of 2014 till now really, where most of the difference between the two has been made, Ronaldo always had to be at the right place at the right time and finish off the attack, which he did incredibly well, while Messi's often had to be both the creator and the goal scorer. Ronaldo's may be more decisive in big European games, it's just that you have to be quite nuanced and the difference isn't that big. Let's take a look at our Clásico stats now. Messi got 26 goals and 14 assists in 45 games, whereas Ronaldo's got 18 goals and 1 assist in 30 games. The only area that Ronaldo's better in is the goal ratio. Messi's got more goals and he's better at everything that has to do with assists. And since Ronaldo's goal ratio is 0.6 and that of Messi is 0.58, the difference is almost negligible. So when it comes down to El Clásico, Messi gets the upper hand. Lastly, in the World Cup, Messi got 6 goals and 5 assists in 19 games, while Ronaldo's got 7 goals and 2 assists in 17 games. So here you could basically say that Ronaldo's more decisive when it comes to goals and Messi's more decisive when it comes to assists. And what I said about the Champions League stats definitely goes up for the World Cup too. With Argentina, Messi's often had to be the one who makes the play and at the same time be productive in front of goal. And Ronaldo often just needs to be at the right place at the right time and then finish it off. And I don't want to discredit Ronaldo here, he's absolutely lethal in big games and most players couldn't do it the way he does. When it comes to the World Cup, they're both great, though Messi's gotten Argentina further than Ronaldo's gotten Portugal. So if someone gets the edge, it's Messi. So when it comes to big games, I think it's difficult to pick either one. They're both big game players really. Ronaldo is statistically the greatest ever in the Champions League and never fails to perform under pressure, while Messi's got the ability to take up the roles of both the playmaker and the goal scorer in big games and single-handedly carry his team to victory that way. You could pick either one of the two as the best when it comes to turning up when it matters most, but I think it's never going to be the thing that determines who out of the two is better overall. So that was about it. Let's just shortly summarize everything and then you'll see why Messi is better than Ronaldo. When it comes to goal scoring, Messi gets the edge. Ronaldo is better at penalties, Messi's better at free kicks. They're more or less on the same level at shooting from distance. Messi's better at dribbling, Messi's better at playmaking, Ronaldo's better at heading, and in big games it's also a close one and you could pick either one of the two. Now it should be clear. The only things that Ronaldo's really better at are penalties and headers. Messi on the other hand is a more effective goal scorer, is probably the greatest dribbler of all time and is easily one of the greatest of all time when it comes to playmaking, all at the same time. So there's even quite a difference between the two. Gerard Piqué once said that Messi's just not human and that Ronaldo is the best out of all humans. And that's honestly the best way to put it. Ronaldo is, outside of Messi, the greatest player of the generation, easily one of the greatest of all time. But what Messi does is just completely on a different level, and that's why Messi is better than Ronaldo and it shouldn't even be a debate. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and feel free to share your own opinion on the Messi-Ronaldo debate in the comments down below. Força Barça, Força Messi, and have a good day.